What do you like about the way you guys have played the last two games that's gotten you some success and some wins here?
Well, we've cut back on the, for lack of a better term, just a bonehead mistake. The gift that we've been giving, we took that away from the other teams, so they don't get a free one each night. I think we've tightened up as far as checking, and that can be in all three zones. So therefore, we've given up less. And it's funny, when you play a little better defensively, you get more offensively. So. Those two are behind us now. They're in the bank. We're back out on the road against a team that played very well the other night in Columbus, and we'll have our hands full.
Defensively, is it just the six guys back there playing, or is it the entire group?
No, it's the entire group. It's, you talk about that position, the defenseman, but it's the whole group. It's the five playing together, committing to doing it right before leaving the zone, and playing well around the blue paint. Goaltender obviously comes into play a lot there as well, and Cam has made some big saves over the last two games to give us a chance to win.
The presence of the dads on the trip, Darnell kind of said, well, they get to have all the fun. It's still a work trip for us. But could you encapsulate kind of your role in this experience and making it a special?
Well, Darnell learned this probably his first father's trip. You can have a lot of fun when you win games. It's not so much fun when you're getting on and you're sitting next to your dad and he's looking at you like, what the hell were you doing all night? So, we've had I think this is my 7th in 12 or 13 years in the league. So a lot of different experiences with it. You go back to my Detroit days with some of those Hall of Famers, Mr. Chelios getting on the plane and holding everybody accountable was an interesting experience. Some great trips in San Jose. Obviously, this is the first one here in Edmonton, and so far so good. The fathers have been great. We've included them in everything we can. There's 4 goals with them here. 1 is to win games. 2 is to give thanks to them, and it's appropriate that it's Thanksgiving. But none of us would be here without our fathers or somebody that's influential in our lives. The third thing, we wanted them to experience life in the NHL. I think it's a hard thing to explain to people. They think you're jet setting around the country and staying in great hotels and eating great, which we are. But the workload, the fatigue that goes with it, the demands that are put on everybody in the organization isn't as glamorous as some people think, including parents. So it's good to have them around for that. And the last thing is, we want to make them proud of us. And we can do that by playing honest, hard, and as a group.
So when you get on a winning streak, you don't ever want them going home? Or?
Well, we'll talk about that when we get back to Edmonton. We're only a few hours into this, and there may be a few we may have to pack up and send home already. But it's been fun so far.
When you're winning, obviously you want to keep the same lineup going. How long can you keep guys out who are veterans and not play them?
It's a really good question. It's not an easy thing to do. And we debated deeply today on what we were going to do with our lineup. And at this point, we've obviously decided to keep it the same. We took a lot of factors into consideration: fatigue, illness, injury, performances. But I think when you score 10 goals, you don't give up anything 5-on-5. Regardless of how it was done, you have to give that group another opportunity to play, and that's what they'll get tonight.
Colorado, a definition of what you like to talk about: quick, not fast.
Well, they are quick. They have, I've been around Duchesne and McKinnon enough to know how quick they can dart from spot to spot, how quick they are in tight turns and accelerating out of those areas. Tyson Barrie, been around him, and he thinks quick and has great eyes and vision. So they are that. They're a dangerous team offensively. They're playing well defensively. I thought they played a really good game against Columbus the other night, and obviously the ability to come back against one of the best defensive teams in the league in Minnesota. They've got it going right now, and like I said earlier, we'll have to be A or A+ for a victory. B isn't going to do it.
When you beat a team like Chicago as handily as you did, what does that tell you about what this team is capable of doing going forward?
Well, I think it's a confidence booster for us. We've had some of those games where there's a little asterisk beside it because of the past, Chicago, Washington, St. Louis, those types of teams that have had very good runs for a number of years. And when the asterisk goes there and you have success, you feel pretty good and pretty confident about about what you're doing. But there are some teams that are at the other end of the scale, and you need to beat those teams as well. And we have to get better in that area. But the Chicago game should leave us feeling good all over the rink. But that confidence is earned every night. You can't ride that Chicago wave for 2 weeks, or it'll come back and bite you quickly.
It's a case of you just want to play.
Different ingredient, yeah.
It wasn't like he'd done anything.
No, he wasn't. Mark.
He was struggling, but
Mark wasn't, and he's been told us, it wasn't a, hey, you're coming out because you're not doing all of these things. It was an opportunity to get a healthy player in and look at a different ingredient.